Right, savages. So you have escaped from the house where you were shrunk down to a tiny size, and as of all of the stuff you've grabbed, you have to nip off and fence it to your favourite fence. And so it happens that your favourite fence is a gentleman known as Ruger. He is always available, and you decide to head off to get rid of some of the stuff that you had managed to liberate from the noble's house. So you head down to Ruger's place. And the lamps still burn in the pawn shop of Fat Jolly Ruger. Ruger may tip the scales on a transaction from time to time, but he's interested in strange things and objects d'art. And Ruger has the skill for turning a blind eye to where those objects were found or who owned them at last. As the pawn shop is still open, you might be able to turn some of the more esoteric items you've recovered into hard coin, which is far easier to buy drink with in any case.
That is the best way.
It's located a short distance north of the Plaza of Dark Delights and close to some of Lankhmar's less desirable tenants.
It's everywhere here that's desirable.
The Plaza of Dark Delights is well known for being a plaza where you can get dark delights of all types.
Well, we should head over there and go and see him.
So as you head off, sorry, go ahead.
Would I be right in thinking that Magnus doesn't feel particularly inclined to part with the ruby eyes of the rat-eyed god?
Yes, you so far have resisted to get rid of them.
I thought as much.
So you head down to the Plaza of Dark Delights, casting willful glances over your shoulder at some of the girls there who wave their handkerchiefs at you and try and beckon you over.
I will resist the urge to sharpen my sword.
They're just doing their jobs.
They're very keen.
Right, so you head off to Ruger's. It's well lit by candle lanterns, but even that is hard to dispel the darkness which heads in every nook and cranny. I have an image of Ruger's shop here. So you come in the front, and Ruger is behind the counter, and it appears that his usual bodyguard is there, sitting picking his nails with a dagger. Ruger smiles and says, "Ah, fellows, it's been a long time since I've seen you. It's nice for you to come to Ruger's."
All right, Ruger. I cannot remember what I took to sell, which means I probably didn't take anything.
You probably have some esoteric stuff. So I've dropped the old images on the map there. Can you see them all right?
Yes.
Yeah. So his bodyguard Balaro sits there on the crates, picking at his nails with a dagger. And Ruger says, "Boys, I hope business has been good."
Always is. Don't want to buy some cats, do you?
What sort of cats are they? Carved cats or cat pins or?
No, he just gets followed everywhere by cats.
Ah!
I can't help it. I'm a pussy magnet.
He smiles. He smiles and says, "Yes, Bert. That's what the ladies in the Plaza of Dark Delight say about you. He says, I've got several interesting pieces here if you're interested. Yes, says, or I can see if you have anything for Uga to buy.
How would you like to get your hands on some miniature Ratman crossbows and money?
Oh, he says, that sounds like it could be quite interesting. Have you got some on you?
I certainly picked up one of the miniature crossbows.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like a small crossbow made for a doll, and he pulls out a jeweler's eyepiece and screws it into his eye and then has a look. After he says, magnificent work. It's tiny and works in miniature. It's amazing.
So what you got for sale?
He says, well, and you know Ruger likes to talk about his interest in pieces, which is general things that may or may not be stolen. And he says, on these shelves here, there's a pair of silver-plated skeleton hands, and he goes, these, he said, these are said to be the hands of a preserved sorcerer. I got them for a merchant down on his luck, and he said I never could get them to do aught, but the hands are said to be a key to buried treasure. You can have them both for 15 gold rilks. He says, or perhaps something of a more display-friendly item. I've got a scrimshaw owl carved by a sea mingle whose ship went down on the frozen seas. A charm against rough water, I believe, though it did him little good. Ha ha ha! 5 bronze eagles seems fair for this. And then he indicates a battered old brass lamp. From far Cornwall, where it lit the halls of the great magicians, it's said that it can burn forever given the right fuel. 3 iron ticks and it's yours. Finding the proper oil to make it more than an ordinary lamp might be an adventure, though.
Right, so if the lamp burns forever, a pair of hands that probably do bad things to you when you're asleep.
And a scrimshaw owl carved from the genuine Leviathan's tooth.
Does it do anything?
It's said to be a charm against rough seas. Of course, the mingle that was on the boat, it didn't help him any. Or we have a sphere, a gear-driven device of wooden bronze with hand cranks that sets the device to the proper hour, day, and year. As you can see, there's an imminent conjuration between green coal and the white star. The device is valued at 150 gold rilks. But for you, I could let it go for 125, perhaps 120.
So it's a clock, right? A magic clock.
A magical clock indeed. Or this, he says, a bejeweled hookah, a water pipe made of brass and blown glass. Gem-coloured hookah. A gem-covered hookah bought from a trader in the Plaza of Dark Delights. I was somewhat distracted at the time of the transaction. And 5 silver smurdocks, and it will be yours. Or if there's any standard adventuring gear, of course, then.
What does it do?
You smoke things through it?
Is it really pretty and nice and cool looking, or is it gaudy?
Make a notice roll. Or if you have any kind of appraisal type skills, I would accept those.
No, it's going to be noticed.
A 5.
That was noticed. Sorry, I'll try again.
You intimidate. You shout, "Look at that hookah pipe!" Yes, the water pipe is made of brass and blown glass with cheap filigree, made to look like gold, rubbed bare in places, and the gems are obviously pierced. About 1/10 of them are missing.
I'll give you 2 rilks for it.
At 2 rilks, you say, make a persuasion roll. 4. He says, and he puts his hand at his brow and he says, 2 rooks it is, but I swear I'm cutting the throat of myself.
Yeah, I remember the last bloke who owned this place. Cut your own throat dibbler. Apparently someone cut his throat. I will buy the pipe and promptly sit and smoke it. Considering I have the rich thing, I just assume that I have stupid
Lots
amounts
of money,
disposable-
yes.
Yeah. I will buy it, and if anyone wants to buy any trinketry, I will accidentally buy it for them, but I will not look like I'm throwing my money about.
I shall buy the owl, the Scrimshaw owl.
Very good, sir. You will not be disappointed.
I'd better not be.
Does he have any cats for sale?
He does not have any cats for sale.
All right. Does he know anywhere I can buy a giant bag of catnip?
Probably the Plaza of Dark's Delights or on Market Street, I would imagine.
I'll wander out the Plaza of Dark Delights and try to buy a large bag of catnip.
Well, as you turn, the rest of you are looking around the shop. Can you see the NPCs all right or not on the map?
You can see 2 of them.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure because there's no really good visual indicator. So he hands you your items and starts counting the change out from among the shop. And there's a sudden clatter from the overladen shelves. The silver hands are moving, dancing spider-like on their fingers. The agile hands leap towards a narrow gap between shuttered windows and are gone. Ruger gasps, clutching his chest. The treasure, he whispers. A fortune! And then a voice rising to an excited shout. Follow those hands!
I'm off after them. Keep them in sight.
So am I. At top speed.
I'll follow them and go. It's never easy. Is
The
it?
hands leap out of the window and disappear. And what we're going to do is we're going to teach you how to play a Savage Worlds chase.
I
So
was just about to ask you if I stand a chance of outpacing the hands, being fleet-footed and all.
Someone start humming the Benny Hill theme tune.
oh, it's a joker. It's a joker.
How's it? What?
Right, I'm just setting up the chase map. So this gentleman is the Savage Worlds chase map. Enable chase rules. So you all start on card 1. Each card represents about 5 yards. We have some hands. Okay, and basically what you have to do is get along the track to the other end, and I will go and find myself an NPC. Right, leaving Ruger behind, Bolaro the Thug leaps off of his box and joins you in the chase. Right, so there
Give a shout for Earl's character.
are the creeping hands before you. So, with a quick shout, you throw the door open and Bert and Magnus run out of the shop. What about the rest of you?
I will follow, but not at the same pace as them because this seems like a really weird thing to do, and it's probably going to end badly. But adventure, and the worst thing I could be sitting at home doing the accounts, so I'll just follow them.
Right, isn't there a reset? There is not, I guess. Right, so everybody has been Okay, first up we have Bolero. Now, the way the chase rules, I made a quick note for people on the notes, but you don't really need to do them. So these are just the foot rules, because there's obviously more types of rules. Like in cars, you can do ramming or swiping people off the road.
I'll swipe them off the road. I'll also need the car.
So there are several maneuvers, but for this simplified chase, each round you make a change position action, which you can roll your athletic skill, and you can roll either as a free action, which you roll at +0, or you can take as an action, which means you're dashing effectively, and you get a +2 on your roll. If you do it as a free action, then you can use your free action to support another character to help them with their roll if you wanted to. And then depending on how well you roll, it depends on how many cards you move. Okay, so Bolero runs out, sprints ahead, pulls a joker, which means he gets an automatic bump of 2, and moves up 2 cards. Next, we have the Creeping Hands, who have to make an agility roll. They get a 9 for their movement, and so they quickly leap ahead, scuttling left and right. They get a raise. So a raise allows you to move 2 cards, sorry. He lands on a 6 of clubs, which means that if he had failed, there would be a complication. So next up we have Bert. Bert, you can make, you're obviously running after them, so you can make it as a free action at +0 on your athletics roll, or you can make it as an action.
Action.
Very good. So you roll your athletics at +2, so, and the modifier at the bottom, hit that and type +2. Seven. So that is, and it shrink my map down just a little because I've got my race calculator outside. Kind of funky. So this is just to teach you. So that's a success. So you can move one card further on. So putting his head down, but pumps his arms and disappears through the streets. Lucas.
I will look around to see if there is a carriage.
A carriage. Probably, I would imagine. If you spend a penny, there will be.
I will spend a penny, run over and jump in the back of the carriage and go, follow those hands!
Very good. So
I have to go and spend a penny. Give us a moment.
Right, so you run over, leap in, and so you can roll your agility at +2.
I think you've gone and had a bio break.
That didn't include the +2.
Yeah, you type 2 into the modifier.
Oh, sorry.
And you haven't rolled anything?
I'll just roll agility. I'll do it again.
Not shown on my.
About now?
You got 4, so yeah. So you also
that's
move.
Not the plus, that's not the +2 added in. Sorry.
So that's 6. Yeah, it's still not a raise.
I will use the Lucas Mobile to chase the hands.
Right. So yes, you pull almost alongside Bert the cat. Magnus. You get an automatic +2 for your fleet-footedness.
Right.
And you can do it as a free action, or you can do it as an action and get another +2.
Right. I will do it as an action.
That's +4.
Yeah, and I shall basically, I'm just going to sprint after it.
9. That is a raise, so you move 2 forward. Onto the 6 of hearts. Very good. And finally, Court.
Just go for it.
You're just running after them. The women and children are screaming as these hands are dancing about, spider-like, awfully quick.
What was it? Agility, is it?
Right, spades. Make a maneuvering roll as a free action. Treat failure as a critical failure. Ooh.
Be careful, boys. They got wandering hands.
It's agility. Sorry, athletics. And are you doing it as an action?
Yep. Whoops.
Oh, it's a failure. Are you going to Benny that, or are you just going to save them for now and take the critical failure?
Just not take the crit fail. Someone's got to fall over the cart of oranges.
Yeah, so Court runs forward and
If we're in the Plaza of Dark Delights, does he trip over a cart of tarts?
lands face first in a tart.
Apricot, lovely.
Right, so Court, as you run forward, you see the hands dancing ahead in the thin night fog, and ahead silver reflecting link boy torches and candlelight escaping shut windows. Your focus is so keen you don't even see the man lurch out of a doorway until you've collided with him, and you and he go down in a welter of limbs. The
Nick his purse as I'm getting up, then go after the hands again.
the gentleman on the floor seems a little worse for wear as he's had the tipsy, and he's like, "Hey, you!" Starts shoving you. You can make a thievery roll if you like.
Oh, I haven't got theory.
So you're unskilled.
I'll just punch him and knock him out.
I'm not a thief. I'll just nip me.
Wow. Okay. So you start to pull yourself up, right? And he starts shouting in that drunken argy-bargy way. You! What you think you're doing? You don't watch it where you friggin' going. And then you're just going to make a fighting roll.
Yep.
Bracy. Never not be Bracy.
A 6, that's a success. Right, so basically you sit yourself half upright, he sits up and he pushes it, and wham, you punch him straight in the end of the nose. His eyes cross comically, and he falls backwards onto the floor.
I put myself up and carry on after the hands.
Nice. Round 2. Court, you go first. So, it's your turn to go first. Again, you can roll as an action at a +2 or as a free action. There are other actions you would use in a chase other than assist somebody, but for the purposes of this simplified chase, that's what you're saving your free action for. For instance, you could, if you're in a car chase, you could be shooting at people or trying to shoot like a sign down to fall down on top of them. Or
I'll take the +2.
Yeah, every man for himself. So that is a 7, so that's a success. So you can move forward 1 card. Right. But the hands are dancing ahead.
Should have added 2 to that.
Right, well,
So,
you
eight.
just, you click the modifier. So an 8, because I don't know if that's a raise or not.
I'll do it again then.
No, it's fine. It's definitely a success. So you move 1 square forward. Right. You run up, attempting to catch forward. The hands are barely visible at the edge of your vision. As you pelt past an alleyway, you hear a frightened woman cry for help. The sound lasts only a fraction of a second before being cut short. You're running forwards. Lucas is on your right hand side. Dave?
Yeah, I'm just tracking my edges.
Right, he could jump on me thing.
On the
Oh, damn. I've got
Me
hero
carriage.
creature. I'm going to the pop in the alley to see what's happening to this woman.
Oh,
You have to stay for
good.
like 30 seconds.
Okay, well, in that case, Bert, because you're playing your disadvantage, you get a Benny. Well done for... Right, so you run into the alley and you see a woman bent over in the corner. Right, so next up we have Magnus the Swiftish.
Right, Magnus the Swiftish. I'm just going for it.
You are. To make maneuver roll as a free action, or the character or vehicle is bumped. Right, so that is an 8, which we'll finally find out is a normal success. So you need 9 for a raise. So that would be 1 square forward, but because you're on hearts, make a maneuver roll as a free action. So you need to roll again, and if you fail, you get bumped, which means you are bumped back a square.
Right. Do I still get the +4 modifier?
Yes. Sorry, no, +2.
Oh, +2, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yes.
Crit failure.
Pretty much.
Are you going to take the crit? Are you going to Benny it?
No, I'll Benny that.
Just drop it on your athletics scale, on your character sheet.
Damn it.
It's all right. We haven't played for a while. I will refund your Benny.
Thank you very much. Drop it on me athletics.
Anyone else got just do it disconnected, by the way?
No, just you.
Nope.
Right. So I'm getting a whole lot of. There's been. They use no modifiers on Savage Worlds. I'm getting loads of errors. When we're using bennies. However, right, Andy. So you stumble. And it looks like you're going to trip, but you just move your legs so fast that you actually run forward at an angle until you pull yourself upright again. So you can move forward a square. The King of Clubs. Next up, we have Burrow the Thug. He's going to make an athletics check, which he does not have, so that is not good for him. It'll just be straight agility then. That is a failure. Make a maneuver and roll as a free action, or the character or vehicle is bumped. So I'll try again. Right, he fails. So he actually slips and falls. Bump means he goes back 1. So he's not. He actually trips over and rolls backwards. In a normal chase, a bump would mean you could bump forward or backwards. So if you're like trying to push people about, if you're like ramming a car. But for the purposes of this, a bump means you go back a square. Right. Is back. The creeping hands roll their athletics. Oh no, they get a 2, and it's on a club as well, which is bad. Critical failure on a maneuver and roll. Roll a dice. Odds are even, so there's a d20.
Sprains a metacarpal.
Evans, runner stumbles or takes a wrong turn and loses a turn, so he doesn't get to move this turn. As the hands fall over themselves, rolling up into a ball, and manage to do anything. Lucas, you're on your chariot. You're an automatic +2. You're on a +4 if you use a full action.
I will use a full action to get the carriage to move faster.
Okay. So.
But I still didn't +2 into it. So.
Yeah. So that you're using the full action to +4, so that's a 7. So that is a success. So you move forward 1 square.
Can you re-push the map because mine disappeared? Thank you ever so.
Right,
Wouldn't you appreciate them?
You move forward 1 square. Richard once again attempts to teach you the rules of Savage Worlds. 1 tiny chase at a time. Okay, I'll move you, Earl, since you're not moving.
Oh, sorry.
Right, next round. Bert, you go first.
Right.
You are actually on another map, aren't you? Yes. Right, so you see this woman bent over, leaning against the wall.
Ask her if she's okay.
She says, she coughs, she's wheezing and indicating for you to come forward as if she can't get her words out properly.
A fucking ambush. I'll look to see where the other cove's hiding.
Right, make a notice roll. Right, Bert is on the 6 of hearts, we need to remember. You get a 9. Ooh. Right, so you have stepped just into the alley here, Bert. Right, as you step forward, you see that she stands forward and 2 guys step forward out of the alley, shockingly.
But can I turn around and run back after these hands then?
You certainly can, but it's on your next turn.
What do we?
You do notice that there are 3 of them. The one in the front is a woman and dressed as a normal peasant lady. A Magnus.
Right. Well, since it seems to be working for me so well, I shall just go for it.
As you are the swiftish.
That's the one.
Ooh, look at that. That's a 24. Yeah, that's definitely that's 4 raises, but you still sadly only get 2. So you run forward 2 squares. You've almost caught the hands up. However, as you run forward
onto a joker,
out
of curiosity, is it just the chase rolls that you can only get 2 raises?
Yes. Most rolls actually in Savage Worlds you can only get 2 raises, but some things you can get as many raises as you like. It's generally how well you're doing. An elderly gentleman lurches out of the shadow and clutches at you, Andy. Did you see them? Did you see the hands? He cries as he grabs you, and you cannot help but notice that his full pouch clinks with a goodly amount of metal, and that his clothing shows signs of prosperity, even if it is hunched and bent with age.
Oh, well, I think that might be thievery in passing, don't you?
Yeah, do you want to spend a turn to just extricate yourself from him and help yourself to his purse as you go past?
Yes, while saying things. Yes, I saw them. I'm chasing them.
Yeah, so that's Andy's next turn.
Next. All right, so do I roll?
He's very hands-on.
Next up, we have the hands, which is a success, so they move forward 1 square. Can you see the hand graphic?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
That's handy.
It is very handy. They run forward. Caught. Not doing so well in this chase.
I carry on, and if I happen to run past where Bert is, I'll give Bert a hand. But I don't know. I'll just carry on going after the hands.
Go on, roll your athletics. Are you running at +2?
Nah.
Right, so you have a free action to do the help action if you like. Right, that's a success. You move forward 1 square. And you're in come level with Bert, and you see Bert up the side of the street with 3 toughs approaching at him, grinning and holding clubs. Do you veer off the chase, or do you want to?
Oh, I'll veer off and help Bert. I can't let anybody do that by himself. Are they facing us, or am I behind them?
I will show you right now. There you go. You see Bert and 3 street toughs. One of them is a woman dressed in bodices and everything. 6 of diamonds. Excellent. So Andy's missing a turn to pickpocket somebody, and Dave and Brissy have gone off to bash some street thugs in the head. I like this.
Can I take a moment to think there's probably money in bodices?
There probably is. Right, so next up we have the Burrow the Thug. It rolls a 2. Right, he does not advance any further. Lucas the Bravo.
I will continue to chase in my carriage.
At +4, try and remember to put your +4 modifier in. It would be helpful.
How do I do that exactly?
In the bottom box, there's a bottom left-hand corner. There's a box that says modifier. You just click in that and type 4.
I don't have that.
Right in the very bottom left-hand corner, you don't have a box.
Looks like a little square of parchment.
I found the box.
The one that you don't have.
Yeah.
So just click on that and type 4 and then roll, and it'll add 4. A 6, yes. So you move forward. Obviously, the crowded streets are.
I will shout to the driver, ride them down, and throw another large pouch of gold at them.
Very well. You move forward on the chase map. Another square.
Haha! Not following human life is cool.
Are you? But you're not moving your dude on the map, the chase map. No, straight across. You always move straight across to the right. Okay. So you are catching up to Magnus the Swiftish. Right, Dave, the thieves. They step forward and attempt to strike you with a club.
Hope it's an orange one.
Yeah, I'll get ready to dodge it.
A hit with a raise.
Can I Benny it?
Not yet. They roll their damage, and then you are shaken, which basically means they strike you lightly on the shoulder. You haven't taken a wound, but you will have to roll a vigor. You can spend a Benny any time to throw the shaken status off if you like.
I'll spend a Benny for the shaking still off.
You will get a free vigor roll at your beginning of your next turn. Right, the thief 2 steps forward, and she swings at you with brass knuckles.
Oh gosh!
And misses. She had a pair of brass knuckles in her bodice. The third thief steps forward with a club, and he's like, "Drop your pats on the floor, lad, and we'll let you on your way." As he swings at you with a club, but misses. Right, well, new round. Magnus, you go first, but you've decided to pickpocket this guy's.
In passing, yes. So this will be a bit of
So
thievery, will it?
you can do two actions, so you can do thievery and then run on, but you have to click at the bottom next to the parchment where it says one action. You have to click two actions, and things will be rolled at -2 for your action.
No, well, what I'll do, I'll I shall spend this round of pickpocketing the bloke, because like he's obviously sort of stumbled out into me,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of sort of screeching to a halt. You know that thing like where that happens and you sort of grab the person and sort of dance around like to stop yourselves from falling over
Yes.
and go, yes, I saw them. They're running that way. I'm chasing them. I'm trying to get them back for me master, and then just sort of help myself to his purse so that I'm like shouting off next turn.
Right. So yeah. So there's no penalty on your roll, on your thievery roll, if you are not running this turn as well.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, a bit of thievery. You reach for his purse. It's not looking good.
I think I may need to Benny that, mightn't I?
I think you may need a Benny of that, yes.
Yeah. A Benny on me thievery.
And it's a critical failure.
Can you Benny a Benny?
Yes. You can spend as many bennies as you like.
I don't like the look of a critical failure, so I shall Benny a Benny.
A 5, that is a success. So yeah, you do the old thing where you like dance around and like try to hold each other up, snipping his purse. Can you please? Yeah.
And do the old whoops, we nearly went ours over tit there, didn't
We did, yes. Can you make me a notice roll, please?
A notice roll?
Yes.
I probably can. Hang on, where the hell's that notice?
No, right? Everything seems fine. You steal his purse.
Jolly good.
And then you run on next turn. The thieves. They strike out at you again with 2 clubs. That is a miss. And Thief 2 uses her brass knuckles upon you. That one is a hit. Shaken again. You can wait your turn and see if you automatically shake it off, Dave, and then spend a Benny if you don't, if you like, or you can spend a Benny, like I said, any time.
Yeah, I'll see.
Okay. Did you spend your Benny for last turn? You didn't. You got to drag it into. You got to drag it into the combat tracker. Thief 3. All right. If you're not gonna, what is causing my thing to throw arrows up? If you're not gonna surrender nicely, laddie, then we'll knock you unconscious and we'll rob you. He strikes you with the club. It's a hit. Shaken again. So.
Is he stirred? Or is the shaken not stirred?
Right, 2 shaken effects means you take a wound. You can soak that wound, however.
Yeah, Will, how
right.
do I do that?
Do you see on your combat tracker?
Yeah, I can see the combat tracker.
Do you see a little box that says soak?
Would it be next to my character?
Yes.
Right. I can see boxes there. It says a -1 or whatever.
All right.
I can't tell what soak is or.
Right, okay.
Wounded, fatigue.
Right, yeah. So you spend. I've just dragged it over. I will look that up for you. You soak the wound, and because of the unarmored roll, he plonks you painfully on the head, but you take it. The curse and spit at you. Next up, we have creeping hands. 4 is a failure, so it does not get to go any further, and it's on a heart, so it's all right. Next up, we have Bert.
Right, I'll take the one on the left, on my right with a short sword then.
Okay, go ahead. Whipping his short sword out, Bert stabs out. You need to target on stuff, remember, Dave? Or drag it on top. You slash wildly, but you miss. That's Bert's turn. Bolero. Hurrah! Actually, he advances 1 square, almost catching your well. Caught! You see this fracas taking place.
I smile. As I go up north, I want to go to the left of Bert. Can I, or is it possible to roll an intimidate roll? And if that fails, then hit them.
Well, what you have to do is do 2 actions. So you click the action button in the bottom left-hand corner, so it says 2 action.
Okay.
And then basically you can do 3 actions if you want. So.
2's okay.
Okay, so then you roll an intimidate check.
Basically, I want to say, fuck off, lads, or I'll gouge your eyes out and fuck the holes.
Oh, it's a 6, so they have to make a spirit roll. The one on the left, yeah?
Yep.
Right, so successfully intimidating them. They see your commanding presence in your large 6-foot-odd frame, and they're like, all right, Governor, fair enough. It's a fair cut. We'll back off. We'll not do anything. You can still attack if you wish.
I'll take my what's it I've got? My iron short club, and basically I hold it in ready, so I'm ready to bring it down and smack them, and just say, fuck off.
Yeah.
This is with me.
Off we jolly well fuck, Governor, as they turn tail and run for it.
I smile at Bert and go, let's go, mate.
Lucas the Bravo at +4s.
Thank you, Lucas.
I will again chase.
Oh wow, that's definitely a raise. That. Yes, your cart steers around a bunch of people screaming and pointing down the street, and you move forward. No, forward 2. No, straight right. That's the one. Onto the Joker. You see the hands 10 yards ahead of you.
I will get ready to leap.
Bolaro the Thug was dealt Red Joker. You get Joker bonus and go wherever you want this round. Yeah, so Bolaro will go now and use his Joker bonus for a 4. As you can see, he's not very fit. Bert, you run back out into the street, or do you pursue the thieves that are running away from you?
I run back out the street after these hands.
Okay, you're on the 6 of hearts. So make your athletics roll.
Add +2 because I'm
If you're using a full action, yes.
right.
You've soaked that wound, so you shouldn't have one. So there you go. Boom, yeah, that is 2 squares. So you sprint ahead, almost catching Lucas up. Lucas. Lucas. Lucas, it is your turn again.
I will continue to charge at the hands. I will try to get really close though.
I've just deleted the thieves because they are no longer in. Whoa, that is definitely one raise, sir.
Does that mean I can turn a corner yet?
Why do you want to turn a corner?
Because if I keep going, I'm going to run off the end of the map.
Well, now you move 2 squares on a raise.
There you go. I'll
So you
move there
move,
then.
you just move straight across the track. It's just a case of
Does that work? Or do I
straight
have to do it?
across, as in straight east. No, east. I know you know what east is. Yeah, 2, not 1, 2. Yay! There you go. Right, you
I will
catch.
scream at the driver, turn right, turn right, turn right, turn right, turn right.
Right, you catch up with the hands.
Will I get to attack them or not?
Your comrades are disappearing behind you.
My comrade should have hired a car.
They should have. And you see the hands. You're right on top of them. In fact, they're almost under the horse's hooves. The hands disappear round the corner with you literally seconds behind, and you see you come onto an empty lot. That the hands scuttle onto the empty lot and then disappear under some rubble. And you screech to a halt right next to this rubble on what looks to be an empty lot that may have been occupied by a house at some point.
Well, I will obviously leap down and charge after them.
Right, you leap down and look at the rubble, and it looks like they have run down what initially looks like a bunch of rubble, but actually turns out to be a concealed passageway. However, it is blocked by apparently only 5 stones and 2 planks. Although it is blocked a lot more than that.
I will turn around to the driver and go, 10 groats for you to help me remove these, as I start throwing them one side.
Right, you start throwing them one side. Huffing and puffing, the rest of the party run round the corner to see the driver and Lucas digging away at this rubble. So, what do you guys say as you run around the corner?
What you doing, man? Digging for treasure?
The hands went down here, dude. They're quite small. They're quite handsy.
Everybody looks at this and goes, but there's only 2 planks we have to move and then we can get down.
Yes. Move.
It's like literally the worst illustration ever. It says, this is thoroughly blocked with rubble, and then shows you that picture. You reckon Yeah, go ahead.
Go on. No, go on.
You reckon it's going to take about half an hour of digging with all of you pitching in? And Lucas has moved away again?
I will step back. I don't really do manual work. If someone else can do it, I'll pick my nails, but look like I'm helping.
Right, so you're all standing quite out of breath. Andy, you are somewhat better off. Do you take a quick tap?
I was going to say yes. Yes, can I have a quick squint in this purse?
Right, okay. You find 53 iron ticks and 27 silver smurducks.
Right, hang on. I should write this down, shouldn't I?
It should be on your calc sheet on your inventory. At the bottom, you've got gold, silver, and iron.
Yes. So sorry, what was that again? Hang on.
53 iron.
53 iron.
And 27 silver. Quite the haul.
53 iron and 20 what silver?
27 silver.
27 silver. Right, hang on. I've got to do sums now.
Yeah, you do. And also, can you make me another notice roll, please?
Another notice roll, right? Hang on. Where are I? That one. Notice.
No, you still fail to notice. Okay. Right, everything's fine, Andy. 100% fine.
Good.
You just
good.
you just have a bunch of iron ticks and silver smaragds in this purse. You surreptitiously have a slide count. Right, the rest of you, as Lucas has stepped back from the entrance. I mean, if you're going to draw a picture, why draw it with only 2 planks and say, "Yet the whole entrance is blocked by rubble"?
Is that definitely all that's in the purse?
Yes.
And the purse has no sort of
Secret
markings
doors.
or identifiable characteristics to it.
It just looks like a standard drawstring leather purse.
Completely plain.
Completely plain.
Right. I may have to lose that at some point.
Okay, the rest of you. Lucas steps back. Magnus is rootling about in the rubble in the corner there.
I'll start helping.
I'm not working.
Call it.
You start what?
I'll start helping to clear this rubble.
Right, so
I'll encourage.
Bolaro the thug turns up. You want him to help you, or do you want to tell him to bugger off? He turns up totally out of breath several minutes later.
Hang on, have I got?
Anyone?
Rich, what would you use for sleight of hand?
Thievery.
Right.
Okay. Or, I mean, I would accept a thievery primarily, because it's used for stuff like that.
Right.
I look at Bolero and I just go, yeah, never know why your wife calls you two-stroke.
If you read the description for thievery, sleight of hand, hiding or planting an item or picking a pocket requires a simple success, so you need a 4 or more. If fours are actively watching, it's opposed by note. So it's a simple 4 you need.
Right.
What?
Because I was thinking of waiting till sorry, what's he called?
Bolero.
Yeah, I was thinking of waiting until he's not looking and then secreting the empty purse on him somewhere.
Actually, he was quite a way behind you, wasn't he? So
Yeah.
I am going to roll a notice to see if he actually lost his completely or not. A 1. Even with a +2 due to bonus, so no. Bolero does not turn up as he's like gone down a side street, and he has completely lost you. So
And tripped over 3 fleeing thieves.
yes.
There's a big bloke round that corner.
Yeah, so we can forget about the NPC. Excellent. No more of the DM playing with himself, as it were. Right, so I can remove the creeping hands as well. So you start clearing it away. What about the rest of you? Court, are you helping? And
Yeah, I'm helping.
And the driver's
Yeah,
helping.
I'll help as well.
Did you need to roll that sleight of hand?
I'm
or?
paying the driver to help, so does that mean I'm helping by proxy?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
Then I will sit here and help by proxy.
Right, you successfully sleighted of handed?
Yeah. So at some point when he gets home, the driver is going to find that he has a purse with an iron whatever it is in it.
An iron tick.
Yes.
Right, yeah. So you slip the purse into the driver. Driver's back.
Can I
pocket.
spend a penny to make the driver's name Alfred?
Yes.
Guess what's going to happen next? The fact you can spend pennies to do stupid shit is the best thing about this game.
So Alfred helps you dig, and after around half an hour or so, you dig out the ruins. Clearing the rubble at last reveals a worn and fire-blackened narrow stone stairway which twists its way into the darkness for about 40 foot.
Remind me, Lucas, why are we doing this?
Because we have to. The fate of the city rests upon it.
Oh, okay.
Is that
I'll
right?
buy you drinks tomorrow. I'll buy everybody's drinks tomorrow again, as usual.
You just now become a Batman, aren't you?
I'm Batman.
Right.
I
So
want to call myself Black Man because I want to change the colour of the coach, but I figure that that'll probably get banned off every forum ever.
um,
It's all right, guys. I'm Black Man.
You could be Little Jack Krovac.
No, that sounds much more complicated than my usual methodology.
Okay, so do we have a map that is one? Here's a map I prepared earlier.
That someone else prepared earlier and he converted because that's the way of the GM.
I converted it better than they did. Right,
It's
so
the law.
remember, you're all human. It's dark down there. The stairway twists down and corkscrews to the right for around 40 foot, but it's dark. What?
I will light a torch, which is... No, I will take one of the lanterns off the coach.
Okay.
Because that involves less work than lighting a torch, which would involve me working out how a flint and steel works, which I'm not ready for.
And what?
I'm not ready for that level of education, and we should go down into the dark depths. And I will lead the way. We're going to die.
Okay, so you're going first. Who's next?
When we're saying who's next, I'll turn around Brace and go, who's next? And stare at him.
Okay, I'll go next.
Okay. And then...
Well, I don't mind creeping down the stairs.
Right, so the party stops at the moment and shuffles round each other, trying to sort out what order there is.
I would like to be in the middle because they either hit the front or the back, never attack the middle.
I have a map ready to share. So the order I've got at the moment is Lucas, Court, Bert, and Magnus.
Sounds about
Is that
right.
close enough?
I will leave Alfred on the surface looking after the coach.
Are you just going to buy Alfred and you work for me now?
Yep, and I'm going to have him spray paint the coach and the horses jet black, like matte black, because we have to.
Very good, very good, sir.
I don't have any choice but to do this. You do understand that?
Okay,
right?
so lighting the lantern, you begin to descend the staircase. I hope to God this works. Do you all see the staircase in the bottom right-hand corner?
I do. I will issue the war cry of, hello, Mr. Hands, come back to the shop.
Wow, okay. After about 40 feet, the stair gives way to an oval vault about 50 feet wide and 30 deep. Another passage leads out from the far wall. The air is dry and dusty, smelling of decaying brick and rat droppings. Nothing is straight or level here, not walls or ceiling or floor, although the walls are lined with old bricks that have seemingly kept out the damp. It's clear that rain has washed down the stairs over the years, bringing with it mud and other detritus.
I look for tracks of this hand.
Give me a notice roll.
Can I help him?
You can. What you need to do is you need to make your notice roll, Andy.
Right.
If you succeed, he gets a +1. If you get a raise, he gets a +2, and if you fail, he gets a -2.
Right. Notice.
Oh, nice. Dave, you get a +2 on your notice roll as the pair of you scan through the mud. Bert, make a notice roll. Yeah, it's a 7. Yeah, you can clearly find the tracks where the hands have skittered down the steps and into the oval chamber. Also, you notice something silver glint in the mud.
I'll pick it up and examine it.
Right, it's a small square silver, looks like talisman, slightly bigger than a Smurdock. It's got a hole at the top where you could put maybe a loop or a chain through, and scribed on the actual talisman itself is the image of a man the relief image of a man upon the rack, his back twisted and broken.
It's Isig.
Do you want to make a general knowledge roll?
I will. Is that common knowledge?
Common knowledge, yeah. But you recognise it as a talisman of Isaac of the Jug, although it is not the standard talisman that is associated with that religion.
So what is Isaac of the Jug then?
Isaac of the Jug is a god worshipped in Nuon, and he's basically the god of suffering and
Drink.
And his divine portfolio is he was broken upon the rack 30 times, and each time he came back. So he's basically the god of drinkers and people who are in suffering.
I literally stole him for my campaign because he's one of the best gods ever made for D&D.
So you pick this talisman up and recognise it as Isaac of the Jug. Although, like I said, not a standard talisman of Isaac.
Alright, I'll put it in my pocket then.
Okay. So, that is what you see. The tracks, the talisman. You all stand on the top of the stairs looking at each other. Don't all talk at once.
I will continue on if nobody else will.
Head on, follow these tracks.
Right,
and I will draw my weapons because someone's getting it in the head.
You head down.
With a hand.
Into a chamber.
Weapons at the ready.
Weapons at the ready.
Yep. Weapons at the ready.
There's a chamber to the northeast. That you can see in the flickering dim light. In this chamber, all that's on the floor is the mud and twigs and things like that have washed down the stairs. The tracks lead plainly straight ahead through the chamber ahead.
Can I creep to the door of the next chamber?
Absolutely. Make a stealth roll.
With pleasure.
Magnus the Swift-ish. Yeah, successfully plods, barely leaving a splash in the mud as he creeps to the other side. The passageway leads to another slightly larger ovoid room with another dark and narrow archway leading into the gloom. Are you sneaking or are you just walking up behind him, Dave?
Sneaking. I already.
To the left and right, a nearly identical carved wooden statue of a man on a torturer's rack, his back twisted and bent under the strain of the ordeal. Each of the statues is slightly different, but in both the sculptor has attempted to capture the sublime ecstasy of intense pain and gloried in the changes wrought on the subject's body. Each is slightly larger than life.
I knew a girl like that.
Any sign of those hands?
The tracks lead ahead through the chamber.
Right. Well, I shall stealth off and follow those tracks.
So I'll have to draw them because I don't have a. So there's a statue here, and there's a statue on the other side here. So you stealth through the room, following the tracks. The rest of you, Bert, you can see these two wooden statues.
I shall go up to the nearest and give it a good look over.
Okay, make a notice roll. Lucas and Court. Andy,
I'll continue on.
you see some stairs leading down into a third chamber.
Right. Well, I shall stop at the top of those stairs until the rest of the lads catch up, because I didn't fancy going down there on me Todd.
I'll Benny that roll.
Okay. So you just feel free to move your tokens the same as normal.
Hang on a second.
Hello, governors.
Hello,
Hello,
Governor.
Morgan.
Hello, mate.
He just turned 12 the other day.
Hey, happy birthday.
He's 12-year-olds of annoying.
Right, give me a common knowledge roll, Dave. A common knowledge roll. Right, you know that, like all gods in Lankhmar, there are many versions of the god worshipped by different peoples. There's Isaac of the Jug, there's Jugged Isaac, there is other, and these ones seem to be specifically of Crooked Isaac, one of the many lesser Isaacs. Both statues show signs of mold and decay, and tiny beetles have wormed into their wooden flesh. The statue looks, the western one, which is the one you're examining, looks towards the passage that Magnus is standing at. You suddenly feel a red hot, intense burning in your pocket.
I'll take the talisman and have a look at it.
Right, you burn your fingers as you take it out and blow it and drop it into the mud, and it's glowing almost red hot. Now that you've had a look at these statues, you can see that the Isaac inscribed on the talisman is looking up towards the ceiling. Looking over to the eastern one, it looks to be the same as the one in the eastern wall.
I'll go up to the one in the eastern wall and look up at the ceiling.
Right, are you going to leave the talisman on the floor, or carry it while it's red hot?
I'll pick it back up.
Right, you pick it up and it's hot, but as you move away from the statues, it begins to cool down. So you've got a painful burn on your fingers, and you suck your fingers as you walk over. The other statue looks up towards the ceiling, as if to find release from the pain. As you approach the statue, the talisman begins to heat up again.
I'll move until it cools down a bit.
Right, so you move.
And look at the spot where it's looking at the ceiling. What did I say?
It doesn't appear to be any different to the rest of the ceiling.
I'll move closer to the statue and look at the ceiling again. Does it look any different?
It warms up, but it does not look any different. Right, Court has stepped into the room. There is no sign of Lucas. Court, you notice Bert running backwards and forwards while Marta sort of crouches at the top of the stairs looking back. What sort of look do you have on your face, Marta? Say watching Dave juggle this red hot talisman, or are you just like?
I think the best way you can describe the look on my face is, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, as he's doing that hot thing, when you pick up something hot and you like toss it between hand and hand, going ooh, 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 walking across the room. Earl, are you there?
And especially the second time, I'm thinking he burnt his fingers the last time he did that. Why is he doing it again?
Yeah. Do you want to move into the room behind Court Earl, or are you happy in the stairs?
No, I am moving in, and I will work out. I will try to work out what's happening with my superpowers.
Right. So, Bert, having given up on this, has moved to the top of the stairs.
Right. Well, I shall stealth down the stairs if that's all right.
I've got draggy text as well.
Oh, blimey.
Give me a stealth roll.
Certainly.
Mark swiftly sneaks down the stairs. Steps in the passage lead down to another somewhat larger, almost kidney-shaped chamber. The air is slightly damper here, and the condensation makes the brick walls seem to perspire. To the right, you see an array of ancient, poorly crafted tables, still littered with old and misshapen glassware, beakers, alembics, retorts, seemingly the workshop of one engaged in occult arts. Numerous haphazard wooden cages with rusted iron bars line the curved eastward wall behind the tables. Whatever creatures once inhabited them were long ago reduced to bone and bits of hair and fur. Sounds awesome.
I shall whisper to Bert, you know what's going to happen here, don't you? We're going to find the rest of that sorcerer.
Right. Bert and Magnus have creeped off down the stairs. Court and Lucas.
I will continue following Magnus.
Okay.
Because ideally, what I want to find these hands and get the flock out of here.
Glove them, baby.
Court.
Yes, I will try and move stealthily down the stairs.
Go on then. This should be fun. Oh, Court is quite quiet as he comes to the top of the stairs. You're standing next to the statues of Isaac there, Lucas. So, you see what looks to be an ancient workroom.
No sign of the hands.
No sign of the hands. A passage, however, moving to the north.
Right. Well, I shall creep straight across the room.
Avoiding all of the rest of the stuff, huh?
Yeah, trying not to be like, curious and nosy and getting myself in trouble.
Yeah, silent like the glove. Bert, repair. What did you repair?
I clicked stealth. I meant to click stealth.
So, Court, again, you see the description is above there. In case you need anything, there's some tables with old broken stuff, some wooden cages. Bert and Magnus have sneaked straight across the room. Lucas, you're still in the Isaac room and you're following behind.
I am.
Right, Court, you step into the room, seeing the room full of tables and glassware and cages and things like that. What are we doing, gentlemen?
Gonna creep up to there.
Arr.
Wait for everybody to get here, because I figure that sort of small corridor rebit is big enough for all of us, but should be easy enough for us to defend if we have to.
Good plan.
Right, so as you creep across the room, Court strides across the room, ignoring everything else. The next room. The passage enters another semi-oval chamber. The floor to the right. This is yeah, okay, I'm just looking at the description. The floor to the right has been gouged into a round but shallow pit, perhaps 5 feet deep. The pit is strewn with bones and semi-complete skeletons, those of various small animals common to Lankhmar, as well as some remains which appear to be human. Another passage leads onwards before you to the right. On the far side of the pit, stairs descend beyond the archway to the north. So you can go through the pit.
Which way
or
do
go
the
around
hand tracks go?
the hand tracks.
Quick bio.
Right, okay, I'm going to pause it a second.
Come on.
Welcome back. Yeah, Dave, there's the shallow pit indicated by the purple, and the hand tracks have went to the left. Andy has decided to head to the left, followed by Bert, Court, and you're following behind, yeah? Lucas,
I'm follow
how close are you following behind?
right behind. Sorry.
Right. So are you spread out like that? Have you come into the room?
I'll pull up right in his bum.
That's good to know. Right, looking into that room there. The passage leads to a new kidney-shaped chamber with yet another passage leading out of it. The centre of this chamber is dominated with an oblong stone upon which rests a skeleton, its silver-plated hands folded in repose across its stony breast.
I wonder if we had them hands before we got here.
Now, you know what's going to happen how you're doing here.
Nobody touched nothing.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Them's them hands. And as soon as we touch them hands, we're going to have to fight the whole thing.
Does the tracks for the hands lead straight to the skelly?
Yes. And then there's the stairs leading down in the previous room and a exit to the west opposite.
I wonder if it's worth making a sort of lasso out of the ball of twine that I carry about my person, creeping over to the skeleton and just dropping it loosely over the hand, so not actually touching anything, and then retiring to a safe distance and giving the other end of the twine a bloody good yank so it'll tighten down on the hands, and with a bit of luck lift them clean off that stone table. Because I certainly don't fancy wandering over there and just like picking them up.
Wow.
Alternatively,
Are you two guys hanging out in the centre of the room with the pit, or are you all going into the corridor, or because Andy's going to have to shout across the room if you're going to stand further back?
Alternatively, we could always go back to from whence we came and tell him we know where the hands are. And no amount of money he may have in his shop will induce us to go back and get them for him.
Although we could sell him a map of the location.
We could sell him a map, yes. And if he wants to send his unfit friend, we could take him as far as the front door.
Look, I'm doing artwork. There you are. There's your
Oh,
slab. Bert creeps into the room. What about Court and Lucas? You're just standing in the previous room?
Yep.
no. If there's any creeping into the room to be done, I'm just going to come back here where it's a bit safer. For I have visions.
Okay. Dave, there is the description. Just in case you missed anything. So Dave creeps just 1 yard inside the room. Magnus creeps the hell back. What do you do? We have lots of standing about and saying nothing going on.
I apologize. I am Batman. I will go.
I shall sneak over that way.
Yeah, Dave, you sneak over that way. That was a big help.
I've crashed out again. What's going on?
And then I should sneak along this corridor and see what's in there.
You sneak into the wall. Right, so Dave sneaks across the room. You can't see Dave because Earl has the lantern and it's dark.
I'll get my bullseye lantern torch out. and light it up.
Excellent. This is a somewhat larger kidney-shaped chamber dominated to the south by 2 large wooden sarcophagi. Each is carved with a figure on the lid, one of a matronly-looking woman and the other of a thin and balding man. A passage leads further west, opposite that of the entrance, and to the right, worn stairs lead downwards beyond the stone archway.
We're leaving.
2 stone sarcophaguses. They're always fun.
Well, I whisper to the lads as I come past, well, we know where the hands are, we'll go and tell him.
Right. Magnus, as you come back into the room, you enter the entrance of the room, coming the other way, staggers a creature from your worst nightmares. It's barely just a human skeleton that staggers forward. Click, 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 click.
Does it now?
As it staggers up the corridor.
Right. Well, I think that's going to need dealing with.
And as you watch, a secret door creaks open to your left, behind which stands another skeletal creature.
Hang on, I'll just zoom in and have a look. Oh, so they are sort of skeletons, are they?
Yeah.
Right.
Right, Dave, you cannot. I know you want to run back like that, but not yet.
I'll hit it.
Right, okay, we will change the round counter to 1, and we will dial some diet.
Or Dale even?
Dale, we'll try dialing them first, huh?
Aye.
Deal or no deal?
Deal to all. Okay, Bert, you go first. You haven't heard anything yet because nobody's cried out, and you're looking into this chamber. So, what do you do, Bert? As you're peering in, shining your light from your lantern across these 2 sarcophagi.
I shall go and see what's down this corridor.
Right, you creep forward, looking down. You see a rectangular room at the bottom of the stairs. Lucas.
Can you push them up, please, Rich? Because I lost it and I had to relog for the 5th time.
Must be your internet because everybody else has been okay.
My internet is absolutely shit. I will push forward and I won't go too far because obviously I'm not really stealthy. So I'll push to the bottom of the corridor. There. And I'll draw my weapons and just wait to see what other people are doing.
Right. Okay.
Bloody skeleton.
There's a skeleton to the south and a skeleton to the southwest.
Well, I could go and smash a skeleton up. Have they attacked anyone?
They are scraping the ground as they lay forward their clawed fingers outstretched. They certainly don't look friendly.
I'll rush forward to that one and smash his face in with me heavy weapon.
Right, you run forward. Go all stabby on the
I'll
said
use my
beast.
heavy rapier because I fear that might be the best option. Did that work or did it do? No, it didn't do that.
Right, that's damage.
Okay.
That you didn't roll the hit first. So I'm going to kill that. You need to roll to hit first.
What am I using to roll the hit? I did actually click the button.
On your actions bar. Under combat. Under combat, yeah. On the left hand side, D8 is your skill. On the right hand side is your damage.
Right, I only have dagger, and unarmed. I don't have my heavy rapier down there.
And do you have a heavy rapier there?
I do. It's my thing.
Well, yeah. There you go. Rapier.
My great apologies. I will roll now.
Right, you've just deleted it.
I'm an idiot. I apologize.
What have you done? You've done damage again.
I'm doing
You're
just rolled the dice.
Something else.
I'm not rich. I have no idea what to do that makes anything happen, so it can't be me. I blame Bracy.
Yeah, you just click the D8 where it says rapier. To the left of it is a box with a D8 on.
How that? Did that work?
No, you're just rolling damage again. Are you on your combat tab?
Did that work?
Yes.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm good at sitting there.
Hit with a raise. Now you roll your damage. Why?
It just keeps rolling dice, Rich. I pressed the button once and it went mad.
That is insane.
It's not my fault.
No, you got raised damage, so you do 20 damage. 3 wounds. The skeleton is going to... I'm going to use Jane Benny. I'm going to try to soak that. He fails, so you stab it initially through the ribs. You stab it initially through the ribs. It passes straight through and doing no damage. So then you realise that you're going to have to do something else. Reversing your rapier, you smash it down onto its skull and it splinters and falls. The bones collapse to the ground. I
will redo the whole stand there and just smash it into little its material pieces with me heavy rapier. Without screaming.
It is incapacitated and it should be dead. What it should be. Right. So yeah, you've smashed it to the ground. Next up is Court.
I will go and attack the other one.
Very good. You can move up your pace. If you want to move more than that, you'll have to run. So you can only move 6, so you can't move 7 unless you run. Which case you need to click the run button in the bottom, and that will give you a penalty on your dice because you're running. Right, so you run up to the creature, which reaches for you with its clawed bony fingers.
Oh.
And
Can you reshare them up, please, Rich? Mine's all shut down as well. Yes.
It's a miss. It's a miss.
Oh,
Terry.
any of that.
It's a miss. Terry. I'm gonna have to contact them. Oh wow. Okay, that is a hit with the rears. Yeah, roll. That is shaken. So you bash the skeleton, and you break a few bones off, but you don't manage to kill it. So next up we have skeleton. Dead skeleton. Magnus, you stand in front of it. The skeleton is reeling from the blows that caught as rained down upon it. You run up, pulling your short sword.
Yes, and I shall give it some.
Yes, you shall. Oh, it's a big hit. It causes a wound upon the skeletal acolyte because it was already shaken. I need to soak this, I think.
It needs to feel that soak, I
Which
think.
it does. It fails. As you use your skeleton, your short swords to disable the skeleton, how do you do that?
I'll leave it sheathed, turn the short sword round and batter it to death with the pommel.
That'll do it. Right, so you bash it to death and it collapses on the floor. Okay, skeleton acolyte.
That's a neat trick.
Dies from blood loss. It lost a lot of blood quite a long time ago, so.
Just took him a while to realise.
Yes. It's a new turn, but the cat has disappeared. Lucas, you go first.
I will rush forward and attack the next skeleton someone's fighting.
You can't see any more skeletons.
I will go back over them. Is there any sound of fighting?
Right, that tunnel you're in, it actually slopes downwards, so it continues on, but you can't see because the wall loops over a different tunnel or room. So you can actually continue down. The tunnel heads down and curves to the right.
I'll keep going.
So you keep going, okay, and you head off down the city tunnel all by your lonesome. Excellent. Magnus.
Well, since we've dealt with that little beastie, I'd better go and say what Lucas is doing. Hang on.
Lucas seems to be wandering off down a tunnel through a secret door that is opened. You also see a skeleton that is bashed to bits on the ground in front of you.
Right. Well, I'd better back him up.
Okay.
Checking the post.
He's dead. which is not great for him. Okay, next up we have Court.
I am on the map, but everything is black. I've got no rooms or anything.
I'm just not touching that one with a barge pole.
Right. Okay, try closing the map.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll reshare it for you.
Negatory, still the same.
Right, you're going to have to close the map and log out and log back in.
Okay.
Okay, we will hold for a second while Chris does that. Okay, so you've smashed the skeleton to pieces. And no, you can't see anybody. There's no more thingy, but everybody seems to have disappeared from your view.
Oh, God. Right, I'll go up to there.
Are you running? Because you got pace of 6.
I'll just go 6.
Okay. So you see Magnus and Lucas heading down a secret passage that is opened in the wall. And you see nothing else because Lucas has a lantern and now so does Bert, but nobody else does. What do you do? Is that it?
I'll say to them, well, I won't shout, but I'll go, what about Bert?
Yeah, what about Bert?
I'll turn around and go, the money's down here.
All right, okay.
Bert, you look down.
Blame
You
my
look,
greedy hindrance.
oh, like it.
I shall head back to see what's happening with these lot.
Right, so you turn around and as you turn around, as you walk down, you see lurching towards you a skeletal figure, its arms outstretched, its bones scrape across the floor as it reaches for your neck.
It's out with the sword time then.
Indeed. You've moved 2 and you have a pace of 6, so you have another 4 movement. Right, so you run up to the skeletal creature.
And slash at it with my sword.
Okay. Slash away.
You're going the wrong way.
Right, you could help us out by targeting sometimes. Might be nice.
I forgot.
Right, I'll just drag the 5 and drop it on the skeleton then. Drag the hit out of your chat and drop it on the skeleton. It's a hit. Oh, these apparently have quite bad parry. Roll your damage. The beast is shaken as you smash it. And bones break off. Sadly, it recovers very quickly and claws at you with its bony fingers. Oh, that's a hit. However, it rakes across your armor and it snags in your cloak, but it doesn't do any damage. Four is gone, baby. Solid gone. Right. And we are on a new round. Court. Your turn to go first.
Is that another skeleton coming up the stairs? Skeleton Acolyte 3.
Yes, it is. It's lurching up the stairs towards.
Right. I will back up.
You also hear the sounds of combat coming from your left, but you can't see. All you can see is very dim light in here because you're just getting like the effect of Lucas's torch.
Right. I'll back up 6, and I'll say there's another one coming up the stairs, and I'll just hold ready for it to come to me.
Okay, Lucas. Right. Are you continuing down the passage? Are you continuing down the passage, Lucas?
I am.
Right, so you're there. The passage curves around to the right.
I'll just keep going. I'll try to be stealthy, but I'm not particularly stealthy. So failing that, I'll be Batman. Because if you don't know what you want to be, always be Batman.
Yeah, so Lucas, you look up the tunnel and you see what appears to be the back of a secret door. From the inside, it's obviously a secret door that is attached to the back of a chamber.
In that case, I'll walk up to it, and when I'm there, I will heroically kick it open. Because treasure might be there, and I am quite greedy.
Bert, it is your turn.
I shall attack it again then. Another slash.
It's a hit. Roll your damage. Oh, unharmed. You stab it through what would be its heart if it was a living creature, but it just goes straight through its ribs. The skeleton.
Can I benny that?
You can benny that. You just drop it on your damage. On your character sheet. And then I get an error. And you cause a wound. Right, okay. I am not going to spend any more on these things. So how do you kill that creature?
I cut it straight across its skull.
Right.
So I slice its skull in half.
You slice its skull in half. The bones collapse on the floor with a slight tingle. And it dies, leaving a blood splat on the floor. Which is unusual because it's a skeleton. Right, so we have Skeleton Acolyte 3 comes crawling up the stairs towards you. Wow, actually they are quite fast. They are a lot faster than I was expecting. Crossing the room quickly towards you. Acolyte 4 is deceased, so we delete him. And finally that was Magnus.
Right. I shall go and get stuck in.
Right, the light, Lucas's lantern has turned round, so you're effectively fighting blind now. Because he's gone round the corner away from you.
Right.
So you can run blindly into the...
Have I managed to target it?
Just give me a second. Near, talk, cover,
I shall.
illumination, dark. God, I'm just going to dump that upon you and on court. There you go. So it's pitch black. You can barely make out things that are moving. You can see just a flicker because Bert is facing down that way with these. Was it a torch or a lantern out?
A lantern.
Yeah, so you can just see the glimmers of a lantern light coming from the west. So just maybe enough to attack this thing. So go ahead. That is a 5. And why do you not have? Why is the effect not taking effect? Because that's a -4, so that makes that a 3, so that would miss.
Right.
So hold on, let me try. Again, I don't know why this is not working. Because it's on your character sheet. A fighting short sword. Right, try that, see if that works. Right, so that misses unless you wish to Benny it, but I think no, you're out of Benny's, aren't you?
I'm out of berries.
Yeah.
So, no,
So-
I just miss it.
So you just miss it by flailing around in the darkness. Right, we're up to Lucas. You have gone off ahead. You can't see anybody else now as you've gone around the corner. Heading towards the
I
secret
will
door.
continue. Yep, I will continue the secret door. When I get there, I will kick it open manually.
Right, well, that is too far for a start. You got a pace of 6, so you can get to there unless you run.
I will jog on.
Right, well, click run in the bottom left-hand corner. You can move an extra 2. You only move your pace die. So you have ran to there.
I'll jog on Monday.
All right, Skeleton Acolyte taking advantage of the fact that Magnus is blind as the proverbial. Misses. Obviously not taking that much notice. Magnus, it's your turn again.
Right. Rich, quick question. You know, next to the modifier box, I've
Yeah.
never noticed it before, but I appear to have a small d6 and a plus damage. What's that for?
Oh, I'm sure.
I just wondered if you knew.
That should be if you can ace on damage dice as well, but it does them automatically. I worked out why the illumination wasn't working because I put on here. Well, that was bright.
Well, yeah, that wouldn't have helped.
That would not help. So yeah. Sorry, Dave. There you go, Andy. You should be able to attack now at -4.
Right.
So you can feel this thing clawing at you. But you miss because of the darkness.
Never liked that band.
Yeah. But you don't see any of your friends, but you've defeated the skeleton. You're moving in next to the sarcophagus.
Well, can I run?
You can click the run button in the bottom corner, and then it'll add your pace die, which is 4, so you can move another 4. Right, Dave, as you run past the top of the sarcophagus, you realise that there's something carved into the headstone, and it says, "Missive, he served his master well." And you notice that the skeleton of the spine of the skeleton is malformed.
Missive.
Yeah. You can move 2, you move an extra 4. Right, so you run around the corner and you just see a skeleton which appears to be tearing into Bert. Caught. In the flickering lamplight, you can see Magnus engaged with the skeleton, but Lucas has disappeared round the corner to the south.
Right. Can I do 2 actions? The first, which is light my lantern, and then, if possible, I'd like to move up and engage the skeleton.
Yeah, so make sure you've clicked the 1 action button so it turns to 2 actions.
Yeah, I've done.
And I'll remove your illumination darkness, and I'll remove Magnus's illumination. Right, so you light your lantern and then you move up to it. And then bring that big old club down upon its head. It's a hit. Roll the damage. Right, bam! The skeleton is shaking. Oh, nice. Right, even with a -2. Next up we have end of round already, yeah. Flying through him, Bert the cat. You get to go first.
Right, I shall run again.
So click the run button. Yeah, so you can move 7. Yeah, so you run. Right. Bert runs into the room holding a lantern, thank God.
Can I hit this skeleton?
You can. If you target it, it tells you the range. 2 inches away, so no, you're just out of sword range.
So in one round, we've gone from pitch darkness to like the landing lights on the end of Gatwick's runway.
Yeah, because everybody's now got lanterns lit and torches and things. He's just out of range there, Bert. Sorry. Next turn, never mind. Court, you're up. This brightly illuminated skeleton stands before you. Court. Tracy.
Sorry, just talking to the wife. Yeah, I'll hit it again.
Right, there's a surprise. Or you could do 2 actions and hit it.
No, it's okay.
Okay, you bash it. It's a hit. They seem remarkably easy to hit. It's a wound. The skeleton goes down. Bam. Skeleton crashes to the ground and bones scatter everywhere. Right, we're out of combat. You look around. There is no sign of Lucas. Lucas, you have reached the secret door at the end.
I will carefully open it.
You'll carefully open it.
Yes.
Right, you push the door open. There's a click and a tinkle of something breaking. Poisonous gas floods out from around the door.
I will take my perfumed handkerchief and push it over my mouth as I step back.
And you see a chamber. The first thing you need to do, however, you need to make an immediate vigor roll. That is a failure.
I will spend a penny on that. Because I'm more vigorous than that. I think it
Yeah,
was just
roll your vigor
mistake.
roll.
I feel more vigorous already.
Oh, success. Right, it burns your lungs and your nose quite badly, but you manage to grab your handkerchief quickly enough and stuff it over your nose. And apparently it seems to have done the trick, as you do not immediately die or explode or anything else. 4. The uneven passage leads to a brick-lined cyst in the stone, some 30 feet in diameter. 4 sealed iron urns are spaced around the walls.
I'll step in the room, but I'm not touching the urns.
And then there's a
That's not
passageway
my
leads
forte.
north. Yeah, so the rest of you guys, you have lost sight of Lewis. So you've got sarcophagi everywhere. Dead skeletons.
I'm not sarcophagus dudes.
Well, I suppose I'd better go and find out what Lucas is up now, so I shall creep off down that corridor. That secret passage, I mean.
The secret passage. Do you mention anybody else that you?
Well, I'll sort of give Court a nudge and point.
I grunt.
Right. As swiftly as and silently as the grave, you head round the corner just in time to see Lucas stagger into a room. There's a cloud of gas has surrounded him. It's purplish in colour, but it seems to be dissipating rapidly.
I'll wedge me cloak across me nose and mouth.
What about you, Bert?
I'll follow.
You follow down the passage. Yeah, so you see this chamber. You can't make out the urns, but Lucas has stepped into the chamber and he's playing his lantern around that chamber at the end of the passageway.
Right, I shall try and move up to where Lucas is, so I can get a decent look at the room and what's in it.
Right. You run up to the room, and like I explained to Lucas, you see 4 large urns stand around the sides of the room. So I'm going to do some drawing.
How large is large? I have a sack.
Bigger than your sack. Like big enough to put a body in, perhaps.
Ah, just checking.
There you go. 4 large urns.
I'm going to very quietly suggest to Lucas that now we know where the hands are, should we not go back and sell him a map?
Like the gas quickly dissipates as you wave your hand in front of you. You've got your cloak stuffed in your mouth, and you notice you wave your hand, and the gas dissipates.
Yeah. Well, I'll wait until the gas has dissipated before I whisper to him.
What about the rest of you hanging back?
I'll follow them.
I'll hang back till I'm sure the gas has disappeared. Then I'll go.
Oh yeah, it dissipates rather quickly, and then
Can I cock me leg and let out a really noxious fart?
if that's what you want to do, yes.
I will do that. I'll lean back round the corner and go, plenty of gas still there, boys.
Oh, that's even worse than that purple stuff. What have you been eating?
God blimey, what has he been eating?
That'll be Mrs. May's beans and sausages. I'm pretty sure the sausages are made of dogs. Still tastes good though.
I mean, I know I've got curious as a hindrance, but I'm not that fucking curious.
There you go. There is the description of the room that I read out. 4 sealed iron urns large enough to get a body in.
Is there any writing or anything, any markings on the urn?
Right, you peer close. And there are no visible markings on the urns. They seem to be sealed, however, with maybe wax or something more sinister.
I suggest we leave these well alone, I whisper. I'm also cautious.
So you're cautious as well, are you?
I'm clueless, but I'm not that clueless.
I mean, are you?
Yeah, he's clueless, not stupid.
Isn't he going to give a Benny? You are clueless, that is true. How many smarts have you got, though? Average.
It's a nightmare, this, being cautious and curious at the same time.
It is. Cautiously curious.
Exactly.
Well, what are you doing as you stand partly in and out the secret door, looking at these large iron urns?
I'm all for going back and selling Roger them up.
I think we should scout out the whole place. I'm
I'm all
curious to
for
see what's there.
I'm all for going back and selling Roger them up.
We should press on,
Yeah,
boys.
but
There could
we
be a
we,
lot
we,
of
can-
cut
we can
course
search the
and
whole
that.
thing and go, do you want a basic map or do you want the super duper map? That's extra.
Yeah, exactly. And we'll take all the money. Sorry, I'm being greedy. I'll go over to one of these things and pull it open.
Right,
But I don't want to, but I
this
feel obliged.
the south western one. Right, it's quite stiff. Can you make a strength roll, please?
Please move me, Rich.
You run back.
I want a head start.
Right, it's a strength. The lids on these iron urns seem almost stuck, but you manage with a heave. You manage to pop the top off. And more gas is expelled from the.
Get a bonus because I've always got my perfume.
Yeah,
ranking.
can I have a vigor roll again, please? You get a face full of the gas this time. And there's a faint
I've got this.
order.
My perfume was very expensive.
Yeah, you get a face full of the gas. You clamp your mouth shut. Again, your eyes start to water, and your nose and your mouth burns. And you're surrounded. Make a common knowledge roll, as there's a strong scent. Bert, I need a figure roll from you.
Well,
as it's
I've hung
30,
around with Bert a long time, and he makes my eyes water. And I don't think it's me
as
cat
it's a
allergy.
range of 6. Caught purple gas starts to seep through the thing. Bert,
Back up.
you back up away from the gas. Bert, again, you manage to, you feel your throat burning, and you manage to jam your cloak into your mouth just long enough to avoid the effects of the poison. Common knowledge, it's definitely a mixture of the Purple Lotus that has been trapped inside of this urn. Now that you've turned it over, you can see that the bottom of the urn is marked with a triangular sigil. And the urn jingles in a lots of little bits of metal in it kind of way. Having avoided the poison, what do you do? Apparently nothing.
I shall scout ahead.
I'll open up the next one. There might be money in it.
Right, Dave, just move your pace, please, for now. Right, so you tip that out on the floor, and a whole lot of silver smurducks rattle out onto the floor.
I
Bert,
presume the gas has dispersed by now, is it?
the gas has dispersed, yes.
I recognise that sound.
I will pretend that silver smurdocks are great, as opposed to the fact that I've got pockets full of gold. I'm like, oh yeah, guys, silver smurdocks, we're rich.
Yeah, more gas, more smell. Andy, again, if you make a common knowledge roll, you recognise it as the purple lotus, the flower of the purple lotus. Highly poisonous. Yeah. The purple lotus is from the jungles of Klesh and is incredibly poisonous and often brings death within 2 to 6 hours.
Right.
And Earl has a snoot full.
So he's got 2d6 hours to get cured then.
No, you made vigor rolls. You managed to stuff your nostrils up with things. Do you continue round the corner, Dave?
Yeah.
Right. You continue round the corner. Earl, you've tipped out all of these silver smurdocks all over the floor.
Well, I have to gather them up, obviously, because someone needs to spend them, and I am intelligent enough to spend them for everyone.
Right, you
Do
start
you
to
want a hand?
start
I've got a sack.
gather them up. Do you have anything, or are you just scooping them into your breeches or your jacket or whatever?
Well, obviously, I have a bulging money purse, so I will fill it with the best looking coins.
250 silver is quite a lot to get in your money purse.
And then I'll start pouring it in other people's pockets. I can't leave it behind because obviously, guys, every one of these is a beer.
I have an empty sack.
So do I.
Open your sacks for me, boys, and I'll pour my silvery goodness into them.
Right.
Jolly good.
So is that just the one that you got a snoot full of gas? So Court, are you moving in to help clear up the silver?
No, I will. It depends if they're going to open up the other ones or not, because I don't want to be anywhere near that. If they're just going to open that one, I'll help them. If they're just going to get the loot, I'll help them. If they're going to open the other ones, I'll stay in the tunnel and make sure nothing's coming up behind us.
For a party of thieves, you just randomly ran over and yanked it open. There's been no checking for traps or anything like that.
Traps, what are them? Look, I've tried very hard to be a greedy bastard. I'm doing my bestest to trust.
Right. So.
Well, once we've dealt with all of the silver out of there, I think I shall go across to this urn here and check to see if it is trapped the same as the one that we've just dealt with.
Yeah, you can. Give me it. Notes. Or thievery, yeah. Yeah, you search around, but there is no telltale smell of the purple lotus.
But I shall wind me cloak around me mouth and nose anyway, hold me breath, and try and lever the lid off this one.
Okay, make a strength check. Well, strength roll. A 4, barely. So you literally wrap your arms around it and heave, and it doesn't move. And then you kind of dink it on the side of the wall, like loosening a coffee lid, and then you yank, and the lid comes off. It also chinks with a whole load of silver smudges. And as Court heads down the corridor, Court, you see an elderly man coming down the tunnel towards you.
If he's got silver hands, belt him.
He says, "Well
Does
done."
he look? Okay. I will back up slowly. And I can't. I've got no tongue. I can't talk.
Well, no, you have, because we decided that you were faking it. Like,
All right, okay.
well, you can either be faking it, but the party can understand your.
Yeah.
So you back away slowly.
I back up, and I ask him who he is.
Right. He says, "Well done. I am Punkaro. Magnus, can you make an intelligence, a smarts roll, please?"
I can do me best. Smart.
No.
Punkaro.
Punkaro. He says, "I'm Punkaro, and
Can I use the Benny to have a chance to know him because of family connections?
And can I just hide in that corner, ready to belt him in the back, ready to belt him in the air when he walks in the room?
There's something familiar about his voice, Magnus, but there's nothing, Lucas, that you would recognise.
Right.
So,
Did I see him by any chance?
as you ran past, yes.
It's not the bloke I turned over the other day, is it?
It could be, yeah. It looks familiar.
Shit.
Now you're here, and my master comes, and the trap is truly sprung. Did you imagine the poor wretch whose hands were plated in silver was my master? Fools, did you imagine he'd plated his hands himself? He raises his hands. He raises his crooked hands, court, and he begins to chant, and silver daggers fly through the air towards you.
Okay, I can't get out the road, so unless I can like try and do a heroic roll under them or something, and I'll go for them and try and smash the shit out of them.
It hits, and these silver daggers of force slam into you. Cutting you badly and causing a wound.
I have nerves of steel. I ignore 1 point of wound penalties.
Right, that's the wound penalty. You still take the wound though. So every time you take a wound, you get a -1 on all rolls.
All right, okay then. Guess I'll try and soak it.
Yeah, and soak it. You can try and soak it with a Benny.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Uh, 17. Yes, you blood soaks through your street clothes, but you shrug the actual. Right.
Can I say any of this just peeping round the corner?
No, you hear the arcane chant, no, and now we are going to deal some cards. Deal the wall. Boom. Getting more lower errors. First up is Lucas on a joker. So anything you do has +2 this round, and you can choose when to act.
You'll charge right at them and smack them in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Just assuming I can't see him yet.
So you run forward. Is that your pace?
My pace is
6.
6.
Right, so you run forward. Move your pace 6. Unless you're running, in which case you click the pace die. You click the run at the bottom. So you can move 5. So you run to there. Don't see anything up that corridor and realise that it's the other way, but you've got another 5 movements.
That way.
Yes. Right. So, excellently, Lucas runs the wrong way. next up we have Magnus.
Right, I'm going to come out of there. Hang on, so that's one. Hold on, that's champion. I can get to him.
You moved one out, didn't you?
Hey,
Oh yeah, you've got insane pace, haven't you? So yeah,
Yeah.
you run down the corridor, and you recognise him as the man whose purse you lifted earlier on today.
right. Well, I shoved my short sword in him then.
Okay. Or not.
Oh, I made Benny that.
A hit with a raise. Okay, roll your damage. Very good. Shaken. Right, so you slash him on the ribs, and he wheezes.
I'm trying to stop him chucking nasty daggers at my mate.
Yeah. But you haven't seemed to have inflicted any lethal damage. It's his turn again. And, oh, I know what I did. Yeah, it does not apply. I have to click apply, so he's shaken. And then when I go on to next actor, it should make a bigger roll. Right. He pulls himself together, Andy, and he then fires the silver daggers at you. It hits.
Right. Well, how you know this thing that I've got? What's it called? Close fighting.
Yes.
How does that work?
Let me have a look.
Because it's, where are we? Adding a bonus to my parry equal to the enemy weapon's reach +1.
He's casting a spell, but they're appearing as magical knives, so it's not an actual weapon he's using. It's just the trapping is he casts an incantation, he waves his hands, and silverish daggers appear out of nowhere, made of force, and stab into you. Yet it causes a wound.
Right.
Unless you wish to soak it.
How do I soak it?
I'm not sure, but if you want to soak it, I can drag a Benny on and drop it on the wound. Is the way I've been solving it at the moment till I figure it out. And then it'll automatically.
I may as well soak it.
Okay, your last Benny. Critical failure. Oh dear. Right, so one of the daggers stabs into you, and you take a wound.
Ow!
Oh, you bugger, he says. And you've got a little blood splat. And he grins. And that is Court is next.
Can I get past him so he's got to either turn one way or the other to attack us?
You're a big lad, just steamroller him.
Aye. I'll just steamroll over him, then smack the shit out of him. I want to try and get like behind him.
Right.
And I like, go past him as I swing my first attack. So I like get to like there and turn and hit him with a second attack.
If you make an athletics roll, you can push your way past him. Right. It's a success, so you manage to shove your way past him.
I smack the shit out of him.
He laughs, his 3 remaining teeth rattle about in his head.
They'll be rattling in a minute when I smack him around the side of the head.
Do you borrow me brass knuckles?
Right, it's a hit, and you get the gang up bonus, which is the bonus because more of you are surrounding a single target. So you strike him. At 14 damage, 2 wounds. I am going to have to try and sort, I'm afraid. So, let me soak with Does he have any bennies of his own? He should have. He has. He's got 2 bennies because he's a wild card, so I'm going to use his own bennies against him. Soak, yes, apply. Right, so you bash down upon him, but surprisingly, spry for an old man, you don't inflict as much damage as you were expecting.
No, I hit him with my second attack then.
Very good. Go on then. Hit with a raise, yeah. Roll your damage. He is shaking. I am going to apply that. Very good. Bert.
I shall move forward. And can I try and hit? Can I hit him with my sling?
I will allow it, even though Lucas is in the way. So if you critically fail, you might hit Lucas or you might hit Magnus. That'd be good for a laugh, wouldn't it?
Yeah, why not?
You miss. Both Lucas and Magnus duck as a sling stone comes rattling down the corridor.
I'll lean up and go, be careful then, bastards.
You can, and that is round 1. Oh, dear. So that is Bert. Your turn again.
Right, I shall move forward 6 again.
You run forward.
Move forward and do another slingshot at him.
You hit with the sling. Right, he takes a wound. I am going to use his last Benny, I think, to soak that. He gets double ones, so he takes a wound. As the bloody thing bounces off his head.
I look at him and go, now you know what it fucking feels like.
Magnus, you are still shaking. You will miss a turn. You can use a Benny to unshake. Oh, you've got none left. Okay. No, kind of bad. That is bad. I think it is. I think that's what shaking is. Just bear with me a sec. Right, so bollocks to you, you shout. Caught.
Belt him.
Right. I'm going for 2 actions and I'll belt him twice.
Yeah. Go for it. First one. Hits. He's got no bennies left. Because enemy wildcards get extra bennies. Takes a wound and the second attack. Did you click 2 actions there? Because it's not rolling.
Yep.
Second attack is a miss.
I will Benny that.
Okay. It's a miss. Right, so swinging wildly, you miss twice. Miss once and hit once. Okay. Puckara is the luckiest man alive, and his status, his shaking status, removed. So he fires bolts of force at you, Colt. Damn it, he misses. Yeah. Lucas, you're running, I say. You can move 8 total. Lucas.
I'll charge forward, but I'm going to have to run to get to him because
Yeah, you've already hit
Is
the
it-
run and die. You can move 8 in total, so you can move another 2.
right up to him.
Right, so you run all the way up to him. And then,
Oh, do I get an attack?
yeah, you get an attack as well as you run and die.
I'll smack him in the head.
Then smack him on the head then. Go for it.
Sorry, pressing buttons and it keeps doing weird shit. Because every time I press rapier,
Right,
it turns.
you haven't got it targeted for a start. There you are. And every time you press rapier, it's doing what? Let's have a look. That's working fine with me. Are you pressing the actual dice?
Yeah. But when I did that last war, when I did that last time, it just rolled damage. Is that damage?
Yeah, that's damage. Are you pressing the D8 on the left hand side next to the word rapier?
I'm a fucking idiot. That's why I'm not doing that. How about that? I'd like to keep the damage I rolled though.
It's a hit with a raise. No, because you can't. It's a raise. It's not like D&D.
I'll take that then.
Are you drinking fucking rum again?
I'm not actually. I'm just absolutely fucking shit with me. Sorry.
Right. So 3 wounds. Shit. I'm afraid he's gonna have.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. You could have took the last one, but you insisted I rolled it again.
Right. So what do you do to Punkaro as he goes down?
I'll
Cut
lock
his
both
throat.
his hands up and then swing round and take his throat out as well and go, all right.
Excellent. So you do that. You slash him. Blood gushes out into his white beard. He gurgles and then he falls to his knees, clutching at his throat, and then falls forward, dead upon the floor.
I'll search his pocket because I'm greedy.
Excellent. You start to search his pockets. That is the end of round 2, and as prophesized, Mombarda revealed. The Bert, you're the only one that hears entering the chamber from the north. Is
Yeah, well, I'll warn the guys that we've got somebody coming from the north, heading towards
I'll
us.
have him as well. But let's. I'll make sure I wash my hands in my
Right.
canteen.
okay. It is 10 o'clock. Does anybody have to go? And we'll leave this as a cliffhanger, or do you want to clear this out?
But I need to pee. So if you can give us like 30 seconds.
Right, Andy, you were unshaken from the other side of the chamber, but rats start to pour in silently from holes surrounding the chamber, and they watch as a creature lurches through the purple vapors, its resinous flesh pulled tight against brown bones. The robes it wears are tattered and burned and soiled from decades of waiting below Lankhmar's streets. It's twisted and hunched, a dead thing that walks with a black wooden crutch. At last, the creature sighs. At last, my new manifestation has arrived. There are a bunch of rats.
For you, Magnus.
Hey, no to do with me.
The rats stand and watch.
I'll turn around to Bert and go, he's talking to you, mate.
Well, Bert, you get to go first. You see this horrible thing leaping towards you. It clicks its crutch on the stone.
So move there and let it have it with a sling.
Right, you're shooting at the rat swarm, which is the wrong target. The rats scurry out of the way around the sides of the room, Dave. Not actually in the middle of the room. And as you can see, they're not. So far, they're just watching the twisted corpse. They are not doing anything to you.
I should do no have a no shot and or do I transfer it?
I know you'll have to shoot at him because it goes on his tough. Right, you miss with the sling. Okay, that cannot be good. Lucas. Bert has shouted a warning from the other side.
Right. Where is this gadget with the stuff? I will start rushing towards him.
You tell me.
If I'm going in the wrong way, I'm going to cry like a girl. So, I hit run there, not one action, sorry.
No, you got to hit run if you're running.
I hit run, but what happened was if I'm clicking my mouse and I hit run, it turns into an action.
Yes, that's right. Running, you get a penalty for running and taking an action.
Taking action, I'm just running.
Yeah, you get a -2 penalty on your action.
How far did I run?
You run 4.
Sorry, I'm not being facetious. It doesn't show me if I'm clicking my talk button at the same time as I do anything.
You run into the room and observe the rats that are standing around the corner, watching this horrifying, twisted corpse with a black crutch. That's it. You've run into the room. You are not in range.
Turn around and go, all right, Stumpy, time to die. I'm going to get killed.
He looks at you, Bertie says, You carry the talisman. He reaches out his hand that isn't on the crutch and feel the creature invading your mind.
I haven't got a fart to make an invasion, let's be honest. Just keep singing the cat song in your head, you'll be fine.
Right, can you please make a spirit roll?
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. 3 versus 5. Right, bugger. So, he's going to Benny that because he is a named NPC. Buggery balls! Right.
We're here.
Dave, you feel a creature trying to push its way into your mind, but you steel your will and push back.
Right, I'll
Wait a
start
minute.
singing my favourite song in my mind. What's new, Pussycat?
We're talking. Oh, please give me a penny for that. I was going to say something like that.
I think he deserves.
Oh my God.
He certainly deserves a penny for that.
What's new, Pussycat? Hey.
Right, so you get a penny, and he rasps and curses his bad luck. Court, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I guess I am going to have to go up the corridor. Can I move and draw my crossbow at the same time?
Yes, you can.
Good, I will do that.
Yeah, click the 2 actions thing.
Yep.
And then are you going to shoot your crossbow at this thing?
Yes, I am.
Past Lucas. It misses. It narrowly misses your head, Lucas. Right. Magnus, the swift-ish.
Right, from the shadows, Magnus heroically pulls out his crossbow. This is not going to go well. I'm just telling you before we start.
You
It'll be
do have
fine.
line of sight. Right, you fire and miss. Due to your wounds, causing you to... Oh, you are unskilled in shooting, Andy.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said
Yeah.
this was not going to end well.
You miss. Right. The rat swarm chitters but does nothing. And it eyes Mon Blade. New round. All pieces get a penny because you got a joker, and it's your turn. You can go now or you can go later. It's totally up to you.
I will go later.
Very well. Just call it out when you want to go. Next up we have Lucas.
We'll charge right at him, which is he should be in range, and smash his head in.
Right.
Right. While not looking directly at him and target something else.
I'm sorry about that. My apologies. Lord.
So you just drag the 15 and drop it on his token if you have targeted. Yes? No?
Him. Yeah, sorry.
Just drag it out the chat window and drop it on his token. I can do it, but I'm trying to teach you how to do it.
No, that's not work.
Right, that's not how you do it, Earl. You
That's
drag,
what you said. I dragged it.
you
and I
drag the
dropped
15 and drop it on his token. There, hit with the raise.
it.
So you...
I have done that, what you said, but it just doesn't do as it says because it doesn't obey me.
Right, well, you haven't rolled damage. You've just put hit with a raise, so you need to roll
That
your
work.
damage.
Yeah, I just want to know that the hit the work.
Yeah, just roll your damage. Right, he is shaken. Ooh, so he can only perform 3 actions. So you stab him, but his leathery purple flesh is surprisingly resilient. Bert.
I shall move forward and give him another slingshot.
Right, leap him forward. Right, what was that, Dave? Why did you move twice?
No, I wasn't. I was trying to see if I could move next up to him and hit him, but it said the range was 7.
Right, well, you just right click on the bubble and go cancel movement. Because you need to learn how to use this properly. Right, fire your sling at him. Target him, fire your sling. Right, it bounces off his rubbery flesh. Is that what you're doing?
I'll put my sling away and draw my sword out
Okay.
for the next turn.
He's unshaken. Right, Andy, he looks at you and he says, "Another, where's the talisman?" And he lifts up his hand, points at you.
What talisman?
Can you roll a spirit roll? You need to beat a 10.
Probably not.
Earl has gone once more. Only a 4. Do you wish to Benny that?
I may as well. I just drop that on my spirit, don't I?
Yes. Oh, a 16. Right. You feel his mind enter yours, and it begins to push your ethereal self out of your body, and he begins to step into your body. His arm goes into your arm, and he flexes his fingers. And then you come up with something suitably one-liner and like, not on my bloody watch, or anything you can think of.
Oi, robbery, fuck off.
And you force him back out, and he goes, impossible. Not two of them.
You are.
That is his turn. Magnus, it's your turn now. You have resisted his puppetry.
Right. Let's get a bit of practicing with this crossbow.
Puppetry of the penis.
You're joking.
You actually hit with it. Hurrah.
Well, I'll be buggered.
Shaken. Nice. You are targeting yourself, however.
Ah. Damn it.
So that might be a problem.
Right. Can I just drag things, or shall I just do it again?
Yes,
I'm
you
sorry.
should be able to drag that to hit, and then
Right. Hang on.
you should be able to just drag that to hit, and then should that be successful, hang on, so Elder's right in his face. Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
It is a hit, and then drag the damage over the top of him as well. Unharmed.
Nice. Sorry about that.
What?
I was sure I had him targeted. I can say a line on here. Wait a minute.
He's targeting you. Welcome back, Earl. Yeah, he's saying you have the talisman. Right, so that makes that end of round.
I will move then.
Yeah.
I will run.
Okay, so you move 8. You run into the room, brandishing your club.
Yep.
And that's it, basically, because you can't reach him.
That's it. Yep.
Oh, Twisted Monbada has got a joker. Oh, no. Which target should I choose? I'm going to go 1 to... I'm going to go 1 to 10.
I will taunt
Dave.
him and say that you look like a girl.
Yeah, so that's Dave. So he's going to do 2 actions. And he's going to just reach out with a clawed hand and touch you, Will. And he's going
Can I cut his hand off?
No, you
Do we
can't.
need
Just wait.
Do we need the doll?
You might do, yes. So he's going to reach out and touch you. Reach out and touch someone.
He touched me here.
For the love of God. That's a 4. That is not going to hit. And he's going to attempt to possess Dave.
Can I turn around and go, this is where he touched me?
I suggest
disconnect,
getting rid of the
God.
I'm trying to
talismans.
fix my internet. I apologise ahead of time.
He gets a 4. I am going to use a Benny for that because that was atrocious. He gets a 5. No, I'm going to Benny it again because he really, really wants this. I've got some other Bennies there. All right, Dave, you have to beat a 6 with your spirit roll. So 2 Bennies and he gets a 6. Yes!
And I'll Benny
Yeah.
it.
Go on then. Drag that, drop it on your spirit roll.
I'll Benny it again.
This is where. Wow.
Get in.
It was inconceivable. He's used his 2 actions and has done nothing. So we're
Get in there.
down to Court the Street Tough.
I will try and
Hit him.
yeah, I'll move to there and I will batter him.
Okay. That is a hit. Plus you get your gang up bonus. Nice. 20 damage. He is shaken. Right, you hit him rather hard with your club. Harder than you expected. And again, it's not causing the damage that you would like. Magnus.
I suddenly have a touch of inspiration and frantically start going through the contents of me purse.
Okay. Make a notice roll. Right, there's nothing in your purse, but as you're reaching down to pull it off, you feel something hard that's been slipped inside your belt, and reaching inside, you pull it out, and it's got one of those small rectangular talismans to Isek that you saw Bert pick up.
Right. I want to throw that as far as I can into the room.
Okay, make an athletics roll. Wow, okay, you can basically throw it anywhere in the room you want.
The rats.
No, I want to bounce it off Mombarda's nose.
Right. The talisman bounces off his nose and he looks quite put out. I'm quite put out, he says. And is that your action? It is, isn't it? You only did one action.
Yeah, it'll have to be.
Which was searching yourself. The rats do not do anything. Bert, it is your turn.
Right, seeing this, I'll throw my token away and moved. Can I move there?
Uh-huh.
I try to hit him. Will that be a double action thing?
Yes. Make sure you've clicked 2 actions. Because you've reached around your pocket and thrown away your talisman to Isek.
Right.
It's a myth. Yeah. Lucas.
Can you push them up, please? My internet has gone absolutely mental tonight. Sorry. No, I've been disconnected. I will smack him with my big mighty sword.
Okay. Again, you stab at him. hits. He's unharmed. Oh. It is a new round. He is unshaken. And he got another joker. Wow. He sees you have thrown the talismans away and he says, "Very well. Then you will all die." And he raises a hand.
Please.
And he says, "Sleep." So I'm going to target you, fellas. You need to beat a 10 with a oh shit, did he get raised? Because that would be awesome. No. A spirit roll. You need to beat a 10 with the spirit roll.
All four of us?
The three of you that are in combat, in melee combat, he centered it on himself. Can you make a spirit, please? Bert falls asleep.
Can I Benny it?
You can Benny
Good
it
night,
as many times as you like.
I will try to Benny it, and if that fails, I will say good night, Mum. I'm just packing my satchel.
I'm asleep.
Yeah. Everybody falls asleep. Caught.
Oh, that was close. I will use another Benny to try again. And if that fails, I will say good night, Mummy. I'm packing my satchel.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, we have burned.
Good night, Mum. I'm packing my satchel.
Yes.
Right.
The
So,
pennies.
yeah. You fight with all of your willpower, but then fall is.
You do know you're talking to a party of alcoholics. Our willpower is pretty bad.
Your willpower is pretty bad. After I gave you that lecture of like all the different things you did, and you're like, I attack him. So I'm afraid you're just gonna have to die.
But I'll die quietly.
Can we appeal to our patron?
You can, yes. That is a D12. D12 roll. It starts at and it goes down each time you use it, and it uses the help action. So if you roll a D12 and you get a +1 on a normal success or a +2 on a raise. Right, so what do you ask for, dear?
Save us.
Okay, so the last thing you do is, so your patron dice gone down to a D10. Yeah, the last thing that everybody's party is the same die, by the way, so that you're all D10. You all fall asleep at his feet, and he smiles and says, "I'll just have to kill you all." Court is asleep. Magnus, you're the only one that is awake.
Right. As far as I can tell, he's just killed my mate.
What a battle.
I'm just going to roll a stealth, if that's all right.
He's looking right at you. So that's a multi-action, mind.
Well,
If
he'll be looking right at me, sprinting in the opposite direction.
Right, so that's an action and the pace die.
That's the click the run thing, isn't it?
It is. Ooh, 19 movement you get as you.
I should just move them up a bit. Sorry, chaps. As far as I know, you're dead.
Right, so are you going full on whack, are you?
Oh, hang on.
Up the corridor.
Yep, that's me. I'm gone.
Be there.
I'm not
Yeah,
fleet-footed for nothing.
Run around the corridor. Right, the rat swarm. Nobody sees what happens, but the rat swarm forward and run all over your little bodies like this, nipping and biting at you. Caught, you jerk suddenly awake. All three of you are jerked awake as the rats swarm over you, nipping and biting at you, but not enough to do serious damage. And then they leap upon Mombata, and you hear a voice in your head say, "Noble sons, remember this. Ask for my aid." Mombata starts screaming, and you're lying on the floor, but you are now awake.
Well, get up and do wild attacks on them.
Right. Court, you are first. You're lying on the floor, but you are awake. You brush the rats off you, but they're already, once they see you're awake, are jumping off and leaping onto Twisted Mombat.
Can I make an unarmed combat roll to try and knock this guy onto the ground?
You can do a grapple roll. And everybody grappling. And everybody make me a notice roll, please. Right. Grappling is an opposed roll between the attacker and defender's athletics. Court doesn't notice anything. Bert and Lucas, you notice as the rats run and they're nipping and biting at the clothing, there's you see a large chain around the corpse's neck, and on the end of the chain is a large green gem. It's athletics versus athletics if you want to make a grapple check.
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
Ooh. Right, so you have grabbed hold of him, and that makes him the foot is entangled. With a raise he's bound, so that's not a raise, so you have him bound, but then you can press the advantage next turn.
Cool.
Bound, distracted, vulnerable, cannot break free. So he is bound. The rat swarm begins to bite at Mombata. But he takes no damage from Twisted Mombata. Attempts to break free, Chrissy.
Okay.
Can you make an athletics check? He gets a 7. 3. Yeah, he shrugs because you're basically on your knees. You were still on the floor and spread your arms wide. However, that was his turn because he could only do the one action. But you're on the floor.
Can I reach? Can I get up and grab this chain and try and pull it off him?
Yes, you will have to make an attack roll at -4 for the size.
And what would it be under? Unarmed?
Yeah. An unarmed attack roll at -4. It's a miss. Sadly, because of the size of the gem. He whips to the side and says, "No, not that."
I shout, "Yes, that!"
Okay, Magnus, the Swiftish, you are running the hell away. However, you did whisper, hear Ningobel whisper in your ears.
Hello. Let me move this back a bit.
Well, you shouldn't be able to run so fast.
Well, with a great sigh, I shall slide to a halt. Back the other way.
And run
Oh, hang
the
on.
other way.
Wait a minute. I like it. Right, 17 this time.
So not bad.
Right. There we are.
Magnus, you come around the corner, see these folks fighting with the swarm of rats on their knees. Lucas.
I will swing at the chain with all of my might.
Are you making a wild attack?
I'm making the best chance of cutting the chain attack.
Maneuver. Where is wild attack? Wild attack is +2 to hit and +2 damage, but it does make you vulnerable the next round.
I don't mind. Did I hit?
I don't know. You'll need to roll.
I did.
Yes, that is a hit because you were aiming at the gem. Can you roll your damage? 8 damage. You strike the gem, and unlike you expecting it to be hard and gem-like, the green jewel shatters into 1,000 pieces. The rats break their silence with squeals and squeaks like an army as it charges, and they do charge, streaming over and around you. The rats pour out of their holes by the hundreds, the thousands descending upon the undead sorcerer, tearing away parts of his flesh, and yet that flesh continues to move as it is torn to pieces. The rats swiftly bear the undying parts into their holes until only one rat is left. A grizzled old veteran whose grey fur is crossed with the scars of a dozen fights or more. The last rat sits upon its haunches and addresses you in a high-pitched voice. His protection is shattered. This sacrifice will be taken where it belongs. Our thanks to you and the gods of Lankhmar.
Yeah, right.
He salutes, military style.
I salute him back.
I'll sit it back and go, is there any tray?
With that, he drops 2 items on the ground and disappears into a rat hole.
What are the 2 items? For I am greedy.
Right, the 2 items are the whisker of an enormous rat and the tooth of a truly monstrous shark. Can you give me some common knowledge rolls, please?
I don't have. Oh yeah, I do.
Right, Clueless caught once more. Clueless cought's like, yeah, that are the tokens of the rat god and the shark god of Elithmar.
Where's the Lankhmar?
It's one of the cities further around the coastline.
And they go piss for beer.
Yeah, apparently so. Apparently it's the second greatest city in New One.
Who wants to go there then? Where you've got the best beer.
Right, so you have defeated the creature. It has been torn apart by rats and spirited off. Not killed, you notice, just torn apart by rats and spirited off. What do you wish to do now then?
I think we should give this a good thorough search and loot the place.
I think we need to roll credits.
Yeah. Are you going to continue to explore the place, or are you pulling out?
Oh, we'd have to explore. There could be loads more treasure in here.
There surely could be. You've only opened 2 of the urns. Well, in that case, what we'll do is we will call it a night for the night, as it is almost 11 o'clock, and we'll continue the exploration next time. Although, to be fair, you have defeated the main creature, so hopefully it should be easier.
I'll turn around to Bert and go, more tea urn.
I don't mind if you do, Ern.
Those 2 urns that you tipped over had 250 silver each in.
Good to have
So
tea.
are you putting them in?
One of them's in my sack.
We'll put them in
So
the
to
bag
speak.
of equal splits for the group.
Oh, aye. I'm just saying that's I'm carrying one of them.
But do you think it's a good idea that I buy us a carriage? Because let's face it, we deserve a carriage. I'll get some really big horses. Like
So am
black
I
ones.
writing to 500 silver in the party
Yeah.
fund for now? Okay.
I am going to spend my own money after this adventure to buy us a giant black carriage with like ridiculously overpowered horses and a driver that wears a long collared hood and looks like a headless horseman. Because why wouldn't I?
Right. Well, actually, what we'll do is we'll leave that for now, and then we'll continue next time.
Yeah, appreciate it.